So over here on the boundary, what we have is we have a comeback and we have a fade. Now what we're trying to do is we're trying to work this corner a little bit. We know that he has the deep third, and that when the ball snapped, he's going to backpedal and he's going to read 1 to 2. Because of the length of this stem of this comeback, all right, it's going to keep him back in that third for a while. And consequently, at the same time, we're going to run this A back or this fade route right down inside of him, right? We know that this will linebacker has this flat out area. So he's going to start over to that area, get caught up by the stem of the fade, and end up walling that a little bit so that there's no quick dump throw. He may climb a little bit, but ultimately he's going to release him. So what we'd like to do is the quarterback is going to look through the comeback window to see if the will linebacker is there. He's going to take a quick 3 drop, and he's going to look through that window to see if the will linebacker is in that window throwing lane that he has. If he can see that comeback route, then he's going to throw it. Typically, and that's usually the first throw that will happen, because this will linebacker starts to ride this fade route a little longer than he's supposed to. So when he comes off, he's in between this window and the fade route. He's on the back side of that. And so we can throw that right in there. It's been a real good route throw for us, is throwing this comeback. We've stretched the corner. The corner starts to see that it could be 2 verticals or double verticals, and now he knows that he doesn't have help, because by design in this 3x2 set, this free safety has to come over and help on the field side number 3 receiver. So we know that this corner is left. If we actually did 2 double verticals, he's left having to play both. Or they have to take the will linebacker and run him all the way down the field with our receiver, or in this case, it could be our running back, or it could be a receiver who's running straight down the field. So we put this corner in a big bind. A lot of times what we see is when he sees this comeback hit his foot and start coming back downhill, he's by that time seen the fade route by the slot receiver, and he starts working over toward that a little bit. So that's the reason we usually have real good success throwing this comeback route, is because the will's late getting there and the corner's late breaking on the comeback because he starts to see the fade route. So the quarterback's read is to think comeback first, look straight through the comeback. If, as when he looks, this will linebacker is sitting in his throwing lane, then he's immediately going to turn and throw the fade route, knowing that the cornerback will be outside or behind him, and that he'll be in between the DB and the quarterback. And that throw usually would end up happening somewhere in this area. So the quarterback takes a quick 3, looks through his throwing window. If the will linebacker is in his comeback lane, he's going to turn and throw what we call a fade hole throw. And this is in a 12 to 15 yard area. Okay? Moving over to the field side. The route for the B back in the 3 route is a slant route. And he's going to run that as a 3-step slant. And he's going to take that, he'd like to take that underneath the Mike linebacker. Now we don't ask him to find the Mike linebacker, but because he's the number 3 receiver, the angle is a little more shallow than if we have for the 2 outside receivers. So it starts out as a slant, but if for some reason he needed to take this all the way across the field, it would end up looking like a conventional drag route, which was what most people would think of. And he's going to end up about 5 to 6 yards coming across on that slant route. Okay? The Z has a post route. And the W has a hitch. This is a 3-step slant, this is a 7-step post, and this is a 5-step hitch. And they all match up fairly well. Now what the quarterback's going to do is we always start throwing from the slant or the hitch to the deep routes. So he's going to watch through this window, this Sam linebacker. And that's his first window. When he catches the ball, he turns and he finds how aggressively that Sam linebacker wants to play that slant route. We've run the 0 route, the 1 route, and some routes where this B is climbing up the field deeper, and what ends up happening, and we actually watch for this, is the ball snapped and the initial stem of this B route, because the Sam has seen longer stems from the B, he starts retreating. And so because he started retreating, that opens up that first window for us. If the Sam linebacker chooses, and he just settles, and then he chooses to run down on that slant and kind of play the slant, he will open the natural window for the post route. Now we don't throw this post route deep. We like to throw this in front of the safety, and we like to throw it in the hole area. When the ball snapped, the safety backpedals obviously to protect his 3 deep. He has to read number 3, or he has to read the B back, and he sees a slant. While he's looking at that slant and backpedaling, this strong safety is walling off that post, but he knows he has inside help, so he releases him. He may climb with him for a little. The quarterback sees that the Sam linebacker has gone with the slant, and it takes him right to the post route. He doesn't have to turn his head. He can just look straight through there. And once again, this is what we call a hole throw for us. And that's in that 12 or 15 yard area. We'll throw that on a line. So I come up, look through the slant. The Sam linebacker has vacated and it's opened up a throwing window for us. He's tried to jump the slant, turn and throw that post right in the hole, right on the line. If we make this throw once or twice, then what ends up happening is this cornerback, he's watching the route of the initial read is the W route, which is on a hitch, and he knows he doesn't have that area that the strong safety does. So what happens over here is the strong safety's walled up a little bit, he sees a hitch route by number 1, and off he goes to the hitch. Quite often, we can actually beat that strong safety because we've delayed him getting there by the stem of the post on the Z. So there's times where we'll just take a quick one and we'll throw the hitch right away because we know we've thrown this post and the corner starts cheating over and the Sam linebacker starts hanging a little bit longer than he's supposed to. So that's the concept where we would like one person's route to control two people. And we feel like the Z route, when he runs this post, walls off the strong safety from going out to the hitch. And we feel like he also occupied this corner because he sees this short route, which he doesn't have, and he starts working his way and weaving his way over to the post. So this Z route can control those two. We can just turn, do a quick one, and throw that hitch route. We also can throw it in a quick three. Okay? So to the field, the quarterback's going to read from the slant through that window. If the Sam linebacker has widened and is going to his hook area, then he'll throw the slant. If the Sam linebacker breaks down on the slant route and trails that, then he'll be able to look straight through to see the post, and he'll throw that right in the hole on a line. If the strong safety starts to wall the post route after we've thrown the post route, then we'll turn and throw the hitch route, knowing that this corner, as he backpedals, has the deep third, and then he'll start working his way over toward the post. That's the three route versus cover three.